intro, and I'll throw it to you. All right, ready?
The usual, Doug. The usual.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. What is up, everyone? I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees. I got my co-host Nick with me. Pointed the wrong way, but Yankees pull off a win here. Look, the series was not, how it should have gone for the Yankees. You obviously prefer to not lose 3 out of 4 games, but it does, just because you lost the first 3 doesn't mean you shouldn't want to win that fourth one. That fourth game was massive, and I think both of us watching this game were like, I mean, are the Yankees going to blow this game again? Are they going to lose another heartbreaking game? And, they finally pull out, a win. Not sure if this is going to mean anything down the road, but hopefully you get something started here. But Nick, tell me your thoughts, man, because I know that you were telling me before we got started. I mean, it's been a grind, and this team's just kind of been really frustrating right now. So talk to me a little bit what you saw today.
You're right, Ryan. It is. It's just been tough the past couple of weeks, honestly, of Yankees baseball. I'm never gonna quit on my team, I forget who it was. I saw someone had a Yankees fan resignation letter out there in the Twitter sphere, and I was like, what the hell are we doing? I'm never gonna quit on the boys, but because they don't quit on each other. But it's been grueling to watch this team put together at bats, not backup starting, quality starting pitching performances. The bullpen guys that we needed to step up have gotten worse. The only 2 bullpen guys that have gotten better are Marinaccio, which is obvious as hell, and Trevino. Because F-Dog is now F'd because he's got shoulder inflammation and fatigue. So if he's out for a month, kind of a la what happened to Ron Marinaccio when he went on the IL in June. Remember that? Ugh, worst time of my life. But I'm a little bit worried about that. There's still a lot of things that I do not like about how they've been playing, but this was a big step forward. And yeah, it may not mean anything like you said, but this could also be the game that shifts everything. And we look back on it and are for the last week and a half of August, this team kicked ass. So that's what I'm hoping happens. That's all Osvaldo, Ozzy, Waldo, Jeter 2.0. That was a beautiful homage on the Warrior Day with everyone there. I know Jeter wasn't there, but that kid is going to be a damn superstar. I know he's struggling at the plate, that specifically that at bat where Simber threw 3 straight changeups and he just swung and missed at all of them. But I think he'll figure it out. He's 23. He's got plenty of time. I don't know. Very happy we finally won one today. And I also wish that Boone was not Joe Girardi-esque with the bullpen management, where I know Ron pitched back-to-back days, but he threw 18 pitches combined those 2 days. So I don't know why we wouldn't have just tossed him out there for the 9th tonight, but Lou Trevino did the damn thing. So no complaints.
I will say this when it comes to the bullpen. Look, I would prefer to not have to sweat it out there in that 7th inning, but it comes down to pitchers executing. I've always said this about managing, right? Boone can put guys in spots to succeed, and it's up to those guys to succeed. I wasn't upset Loaisiga started the inning. I didn't even think he pitched bad. Bloop single, ground ball that should have been a double play, and then a walk.
He was just missing all of his stuff. That's why I was like,
Yeah, you know what? He got pulled after 3 batters. Boone was aggressive, brought in Wandy. They pinch hit twice. They burned Springer and Biggio. That ended up being massive because they could have brought in Springer in the 9th inning to face Trevino and made it, a scare. That would have been dicey here. Trevino, no offense to Jackie Bradley Jr., but let's just be real here. George Springer can hit a home run, at any point in time. It's not like Jackie Bradley Jr. is necessarily going to be the guy who's consistently going to be going yard off of you. So you take your chances there. And sometimes it comes down to guys who need to execute. I thought Wandy had a really bad sequence against JBJ where he should have been more sinker heavy. I think he got a little too cute trying to go, down away. I don't think of Jackie Bradley Jr. as a guy lefty on lefty, maybe righty on righty. You think a little bit, I got to pitch away. But, lefty on lefty, I would one out, go out and get me that ground ball. Don't be so
He's
scared.
batting 130 against lefties. Why are we pitching around him? Yeah, why are we nibbling? I'm wearing a Sonny Gray A's jersey, the king of nibbling when he was in New York. Why? It's the worst. You hate it more than anyone. Walks are bad. Stay away from walks. And tonight, the reason we gave up a couple of runs, or today, I'll say, today, is because we just walked the 8-9 hitters. We gave up base hits to the 7 hitters. Whit Merrifield was playing like fucking Paul O'Neill against us. I don't know what happened. We just could not get the bottom of the order out for the entire series against the Blue Jays. And that's what we've been struggling with a lot as a season as a whole. Paul DeYoung was batting at the 8-hole when we were in St. Louis following the deadline, and he murdered us. I don't know what it is about this team struggling to pitch to the bottom of the lineup and attack them. Those guys are the worst hitters on the team. That's why they're batting 7, 8, 9. That's how it works.
Yeah, and I wanted to pull up since the month of August started. It's not like the 7, 8, and 9 hitters have been doing damage with the bat in terms of like getting hits. 190
No,
average,
they're
340
getting walked.
slugging. Yeah, they have a 10.4% walk rate against the Yankees. The Yankees have struggled to put these guys away. And what's infuriating is, it's the 7, 8, and 9 hitters against the 1 through 6 guys, only walking 7.5% of them. I look at how the Yankees execute pitching wise in low leverage versus high leverage, and it's like this team hits a wall when there's a high leverage situation and they're facing bad hitters. I mean, the Yankees got Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Lourdes Gurriel out back to back with bases loaded and 1 out. Like, I want people to understand that. I want people to process this for a second. Lou Trevino and Wandy Peralta got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with bases loaded and 1 out, back-to-back outs with no run scoring. They couldn't get Jackie Bradley Jr. out in that spot. They like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's the part where it's like,
what Merrifield, it was, I guess we're on the Merrifield RBW now, because that series just convinced me that who cares if he's not going to get vaccinated and can't play in home games? He's going to be like that against us. Fuck, really? But it's just frustrating. Like you said, it's still just like, even today's win was awesome. And I'm very, very hyped. Like Benintendi's home run, Benny Bonds is what they're calling him. That was amazing. I never thought I'd see it. Like, it wasn't like IKF, where it's like, this will never happen. But like, it was like, I just don't think he's trying to hit home runs at all. I think he's just trying to hit doubles into the gap more, and walk a lot. And Benny's been struggling. So that was a huge moment for him. It's crazy. The past like week or so, while it's been rough baseball, both Josh Donaldson and Andrew Benintendi have gotten their Yankee moments. And they both kind of have played a little bit better as of late. And that's hopefully a sign of things to come. Like, and now JD is getting more off days. Like, Osvaldo playing shortstop as well as he is means that IKF's going to get sent to the moon. Like, this is just fantastic. At least, things are changing. It's a tough change right now, but we've talked about this before. It's unsustainable. They couldn't be that bad for that long. And just like you said, they couldn't have been the greatest baseball team of all time for that long either. It's baseball, baby. The law of averages.
Yeah, the law of averages tells you that this team can't play as badly as they have in the month of August for much longer. And, Scherzer tomorrow versus Herman is not the most encouraging of matchups.
But DeGrom's dodging us, dude. He's ducking the Yankees.
Look, I will say this. When it comes to Scherzer and Herman, that game was very close when we played them.
Herman did not pitching well, dude.
Yeah, I will say this when it comes to Domingo Herman. I think the way he's getting results is unsustainable, but I will take unsustainable results from a guy who's not going to be in the rotation in a month over like bad results with a good strikeout rate. Like, I need him to just give me innings of scoreless ball. I don't care how we get it from him.
It's just when it's 109-mile-an-hour barrel outs every time, I'm like, oh my God, one of these is going to get scorched. And then it always does. But then he somehow buckles down. But watching Domingo Herman pitch, it's just like, when you don't have your curveball and you hang it, it's just like, how are you not punishing that pitch?
Right. It feels like this.
Yeah, we just need him for another month. That's it.
Look, the Yankees need, and Scherzer is a guy who is absolutely remarkable. He is having a phenomenal season. He strikes out everyone and their mother. But look, the Yankees, the Mets are an offense that, has been, they're a team that's played very well against everyone. They have really only struggled against the Astros. They've taken care of business when they need to take care of business. They've proved, they're one of the best teams in this league. They're a World Series contender. There is no, they're the Mets. They're the Mets. You don't have to take them seriously. This is a very good baseball team. They're 78-44. I know they're playing the Phillies right now. They hit a dramatic 3-run home run, and they got a runner on second with 1 out against the Phillies. So probably going to go score there. It's the Phillies bullpen. I mean,
David Robertson.
Yeah, I mean, their bullpen is full of former Yankees and not good pitchers. Shout out my dog Nick Nelson though. Shout out.
Is he still on the major league roster? I thought he got optioned to AAA.
He could have been optioned.
I thought he got DFA'd.
He's the
elite bullpen arm that you want. He's the guy that every team should have a Nick Nelson. Every team needs a Nick Nelson.
He is the definition of a Philadelphia Philly. And I guess kind of pivoting off, random Yankee relievers. I guess not so much a random reliever anymore at this point, but Scott Efros has shoulder tightness, which is not at all good news. That's very bad news.
Ron the Don had it in June. Missed the whole month. Fucking sucks. And Efros is good. F-dog, dude.
He was one of the 2 options Boone named as closer replacements for Holmes, as Holmes is on the IL, which is a Phantom IL stint.
He's
But
not
the two
injured.
guys he named, were Chapman and Efros. Chapman blows again, and Efros is now hurt. So I imagine
Yeah, Chapman had like a Fugazi run of 6 innings, and everyone's like, he's back. I'm like, relax.
I
Relax.
never I never understood. I can never understand Chapman because I think there's still the potential to be like a good major league reliever. Still, it's just he just unravels so quickly, and it's really really frustrating for the guy. And for a fan, it's like the dude. I don't know what he is at this point, but I guess the point now is, who's closing games for this team. I mean, Wandy struggled a little bit today. Not saying Wandy's not a good reliever, but he's not available tomorrow, most likely. He might be. Who knows?
It's got to be
But
Ron the Don.
yeah, I imagine Marinaccio now, we have to think of him as, I know Alex mentioned this in a podcast we did, talking about the bullpen. Ron Marinaccio came up in the conversation. It's like, at this point, Marinaccio has to be closing games. And I think we're at that point where Marinaccio has to be closing games. I mean,
He's like
Nick,
one
I
of the
know
best
you're
relievers in baseball right now.
Yeah, I know you're a big Ron fan, so I'm going to let you kind of talk a little bit here. I mean, I think we can both agree here he should close games, but, where do you see Marinaccio's lanes right now? Because we don't have a closer right now.
I want to be that confident saying, yeah, Ron the Don closer, because Ron the Don should be the closer. I mean, he's earned it. He's pitched really well. But at the same time, the Yankees management of the bullpen is always so weird. And the guy you don't think should be the closer is going to be the closer. I mean, honestly, even coming into this season, Clay Holmes was really good last year when he came over to the Yankees. But I was not expecting Clay Holmes to be the closer this year at all. And then he just dominated, and they said, okay, we're going to have you close games because Aroldis or Doofus can't do anything right. And then Mike King was kind of saving some games. So, like, at this point, I don't know what they're going to do with Ron. I like to think that they love using him in that 7th, 8th inning kind of set there in between that to set up the big guy in the back, usually Wandy. But they've also been going to Jonathan Loaizaga. So it's really weird. Like, they're expecting some of these guys to get better and to perform better than they are right now. And I just don't know how much longer they can keep trying that. Because at this point, Ron Marinaccio should be the closer. Like, with no one, Wandy's struggled this month. Jonathan Loaizaga struggled since he's come back. Earl Doofus is awful at everything. So it's like, who else you gonna go to? Litke was warming up today, which was really, really weird. Like, I don't know why we were going for Litke there in the 9th if Trevino couldn't get out of that base runner on first. Like, it was just a bit of an odd decision to see him up and throwing. But if we're trusting Litke with closer roles, I'm gonna jump in front of a fucking bus. I don't know. I would love to see Ron close. I think that today's game was a nice sign of things to come because at least the offense was able to, fight back and get back into the game. And Benintendi was able to barrel up a couple of very nice baseballs today, including his home run. Like, I don't know. A lot of things that I like, stuff I don't like.
Yeah, I think that kind of sums up the series. Things that, a lot more don't like than like.
Yeah, a lot more you don't
like. Yeah, but the way I see it is, I think the Yankees should, kind of tap into that non-40 man bullpen depth. The Jimmy Corderos of the world, the Greg Weiserts of the world, guys who are kind of having strong seasons in AAA, lesser known guys, but having strong seasons, and say, hey, we kind of need to bump up Wandy and Ron Marinaccio, even Lou Trevino. You're pushing these guys right now.
He pitched great today. Lou was on his shit today.
Yeah, absolutely. He pitched very well. And those are big outs. So, you kind of want to trust him in these. You're not going to trust him to close every day, but definitely if the lane is there for him to close, you're going to go to him. I think you look at, Lou, Wandy, and Ron as guys who are going to get closing reps, I imagine, down the stretch.
Agreed.
I don't
agree.
Boone, I believe, said that he was kind of a little bit taken aback with what Chapman had done against the Rays. So I don't know if he's going to be closing a game tomorrow.
He was taken aback by that. That's just the regular Aroldis Chapman appearance. How did that one stand out? Boone.
I guess
like the 6th time he's done it this year, dude.
I guess the takeaway for him was he just, he's not as, I guess that's more so just like that. Hey, we're not going to necessarily just hand him the closer spot right now.
That's good. He doesn't deserve it. And then he just laughs when he comes out of the game. And it's like, why are you smiling, dude? You just screwed over everything. And then, like, everyone else is now all of a sudden having to make up and clean up your mess. And we can't be having that, especially in the closer role again. We did the Aroldis experiment and it did not work. Do not do it again. So I like Boone, saying he's not getting it back.
Yeah. And you know what? I think ultimately, with this bullpen, you're just going to need to hope that, you get a guy like Clark Schmidt up here. He can give you some quality innings. We know he has great stuff. It's unfortunate he's not going to be able to start games, even though I do think he should. But At this point, you need the bullpen help. You're not going to, Clark Schmidt every 5th day isn't as big of a help for you right now as Clark Schmidt in maybe the 6th or 7th inning of a 1-run, 2-run game. So, that's kind of just the situation or the dilemma the Yankee bullpen is in with the sheer amount of injuries.
It's
I
wild.
hope, yeah, it's
Like, I hope
gotten
Britton
to a
comes
point.
back. I hope Writings comes back. But like that's what we're doing. We're hoping, you know?
Yeah, let's just read off the guys on the injured list in the bullpen: Albert Abreu, Zach Britton, Miguel Castro, Chad Green, Clay Holmes, Michael King, Steven Writings. That's that right there is if you put those guys in a major league bullpen, that is going to get probably have the best bullpen ERA in the sport. So our IL bullpen is currently probably the best bullpen in baseball. So the Yankees are definitely going to need to get
That's pretty
healthier there.
wild. But then again, if some of those guys didn't get IL'd, we wouldn't have seen Ron the Don, you know? I mean, we wouldn't have gotten to see Sears Dog. We wouldn't have gotten to see as much Schmidt. So it's like there are silver linings that are like nice, at least, that have come from some of these injuries. But the problem is that they just keep adding up now. And we're at the point where we have big injuries on the offensive side of things that we need to get back. And the injuries in the pitching and bullpen are not helping at all.
Yeah, and you know what? I think ultimately the Yankees are going to be able to bounce back a little bit if they can get some quality innings from the guys they're calling up. As you mentioned, we didn't really, Ron Marinaccio is a product of injury in a sense. Even Michael King, these are guys who are products of guys going down and needing to step up. Holmes really was a product of Chapman struggling and Green and Wise struggling and Green getting hurt. So sometimes it takes situations like this for you to get good relievers and to kind of give them their spotlight. So hopefully we do get that production. I think ultimately the takeaway from this series is you hope the Yankees can find some consistent offense. They were not scoring this series today. They scored enough to win, not enough for me to say I'm confident the offense is back. Getting Stan's going to help. They said he'll be back for the Oakland series, and I'm just trying to check who the Yankees. I believe the Yankees play. Okay, they do play Oakland. So there's an off day between the Mets. So Wednesday is an off day. 2 games against the Mets. It'll be Herman and Montas versus Scherzer and DeGrom or Walker. I saw reports that it could be Walker.
Yeah, I heard DeGrom's dodging the Yankees.
Yeah, I think okay, no. So now it's scheduled. So now Walker is scheduled to face the Yankees according to Fangraphs. So you look the Herman Scherzer game, you're probably going to lose that one, and you try to win the Montas Walker game. You get a split there. I feel pretty good with that. Go to Oakland, get Stan back, get your lineup going, and I guess that's kind of the emphasis for the Yankees. Find some momentum here, get a little bit of a roll here. If they somehow sweep the Mets, that would be insane. Not because I care about beating the Mets, but because they need momentum. They just need to win. They need a win after a win. They haven't won back-to-back games in the month of August at all. Like the last time they won back-to-back games were on July 29th and July 30th when they won back-to-back against the Royals. It's been almost a month. They have to do it at some point. Odds point to it having to happen at some point. It'd be hilarious if it happened with Herman versus Scherzer. That would make me laugh a lot because there is such a big talent gap in pitching there. But we'll see. If you guys like what we do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Above Nick, you can not only just see his Twitter account, you can see our voicemail number, 631-762-3518. Drop us a voicemail. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Signing off. Peace out.